These two always knew how to make people laugh, and we can't really talk about Dave and Charlie without talking about the legendary Chappelle's Show sketches.
We gonna hang out with Rick James tonight, you know what I'm saying? We got closer, started hanging out. Things like escalated to the point where, you know, my man got too familiar, and I ended up having to whip his ass, man, you know, because, you know, he would step across the line. Habitually, he's a habitual line stepper. We went to Studio 54. We walking up into the VIP section, and all of a sudden I heard something go, "Charlie Murphy!" He had this ring on to commemorate this song he had put out called Unity.
And this was imprinted in that black head of his for at least a week.
I waited, because I knew what hotel he was staying in. Eddie and them went home and went up to his room, knocked on the door. "Charlie Murphy!" He had his hand cocked to throw another right hand.
Could tell it like he gave me some kind of Bruce Lee cross kick or something.
I kicked the shit out of him, man.
And that wasn't the last time Rick James made an appearance. In fact, in the same episode, Charlie told another hilarious story about how he ended up giving Rick James even more business.
Rick is encouraging me, you know, he shows up at my brother's house, up.
"Nice place,
And he gets on the couch and says,
"Why don't I stretch out?"
and just started grinding mud on us.
Your couch, buy another one, you rich mother.
And we standing there looking at him. He's looking right in our eyes as he grinds this mud. We went over there.
Like, "Hey, Charlie Murphy!"
And we held him down. And we just wailed on his legs.
Ah! You were cold as ice.
But still, Rick James, even after taking a beating like that,
your couch, I've been kicked out of better homes than this. I'll be back. You black.
My brother, you know, he's a lot more compassionate than I am. He's looking and limo's driving off. We said, "Wow, man, Rick really needs help." I was like, "Yo, we just gave him some help."
The stories Charlie told on Chappelle's Show were so absurd that many people ended up questioning whether they were even true. But after watching this next clip, you'll never question their validity ever again.
The story that we heard on the Chappelle Show,
yeah,
with the whole basketball game,
yeah.
Number one, how accurate was that?
It was totally accurate to every point of the whole story. We were sitting there and Prince said,
"This bores me. Is anyone up for a game of basketball?"
And I'm like, what?
I was like, this nigga must be joking, man. I don't know where he's going with this. He was dead serious. And I'm like, this is gonna be funny ass shit. So they come out, right? And I look at them and they still got on the same shit they was wearing at the club.
We're in our street clothes, bro. Remember, we just came from the club.
I said, "Hey, you know what? You know what we're gonna call this? The shirts against the blouse."
And I swear to you guys, listening, wherever you're gonna be, Prince took the ball and it was like Michael Jordan after that.
He was crossing cat. Like, Prince, you got a towel, man? It's kind of hot out here, man.
Why don't you purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka?
Good.
You come up on it, he stepped back, nothing but net.
Game. Blouses.
I was there, I seen it. You don't believe me? You think I'm making it up? Challenge him. All right? And make sure your people is there to see the game. Because you might get embarrassed. Trust me.
And if that still isn't enough, here are a few more clips from credible sources confirming that the legendary basketball game really happened.
The story about Prince challenging you to a game of pickup basketball that he told on Chappelle, that I'm sure that really happened, but...
That is totally and absolutely accurate. So we had on club clothes, and Prince had on that outfit that was in the Kiss video. I think he had on the waistlet. And he was like, "Hey, y'all wanna play some basketball?" He was like, "What the you wanna play some basketball?" And it was like, "All right, let's play." And my brother it was Prince and some dude, a dude named Mickey Free, that used to hang out there. And they used to all kind of wear that kind of Prince clothes. So my brother was like, "All right, it's gonna be shirts against blouses." And they teamed up, and the blouses won. They beat out of us.
And I sat next to him on Christmas Day at a Laker game. And it was back during the Dave Chappelle Show times, and that thing had just been on. So I asked him, I was like, so is that basketball story true? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, really? He said, and you won? He said, they had on church shoes.
In LA one night, I shouldn't even tell. I've been to Puffy's house. No, I didn't see. Look, no, I didn't see none of the stuff they said in that trial. I walked to that living room. House was clean, traction on the floor, nothing slippery. Walk right through. Only thing in hindsight, but at the time it didn't mean nothing to me. I didn't think about it until after I found all that stuff out. But we was on this back patio. We was drinking and laughing, talking, and then Puff starts swirling his drink like this, and he goes, so Dave, what are you into? You know me, I was like, I don't know, books, video games, Okay, look, it's not that I think Puff is right, but when I got attacked in LA at the Hollywood Bowl, people forget Puff was the guy that tackled my attacker. It's a hard nigga to be mad at after that. I had security that night, but you know what I mean? They just wasn't ready. Them niggas had some slippery shoes on or something, they ran out. All them niggas slipped and fell. And Puffy got my attacker and tackled him. And then years later, when I heard about that baby oil, I was like, what did those slip on?
What you waiting for, Cool Breeze? Get buck naked right now. Get it off, son.
First of all, you better check your tone ring, man. Don't think you know who you're talking to. Live in Washington. Don't give butt naked for nobody. You want this role? You're gonna have to shoot me.
Okay. To unforgettable stand-up performances.
A lot of my friends ask me, they say, Dave, did you know anything about those freak-off parties? And I'd be like, nah, man. I didn't know anything about freak-off. And they all look at me like, and they be like, well, how all these people you know was at the freak-off, but you's the only one that wasn't at the freak-off. And I thought about it for a minute. I said, oh my God. I'm ugly.
And even hilarious interviews.
A man in the KKK came up to me and said, you know, Charlie, I usually hate but ever since that Dave Chappelle show came on, you and Dave Chappelle make me and Bubba love every Wednesday night.
Dave and Charlie's friendship started way before they ever worked together on Chappelle's show. In fact, they had known each other for years before working together. They met in the New York comedy scene, where Dave was an up-and-coming comedian and Charlie was mostly known as Eddie Murphy's older brother. Over time, the two became close friends and their chemistry was undeniable. Eventually, Dave invited Charlie to join Chappelle's show as a writer and performer. Needless to say, the rest is history. But don't get it twisted, outside of Chappelle's show, they were both amazing comedians in their own right. Dave could turn even the simplest interviews into hilarious stand-up routines.
You ever go like on those history tours? I went on one.
Yes, I do.
I went to Williamsburg, Virginia. They do it up because it's like old town Williamsburg. They preserved it from 1700. And they even go as far as to have like black dudes walking around like slaves in the little costumes. Hey, how you doing now, sir? And then like I left the group. I split up from the group, and then one of them black dudes seen me. He was like, hey, bro, help me.
Not only Dave, but Charlie could also turn a simple interview into a laughing fiesta within minutes.
Yes, I had one of the most brutal experiences with outfits. When I first got out the Navy, I came out to LA, my brother was huge. He had, show business clothing. He was supposed to have it on. He was a showman. Everybody knew who he was. He said, yo, man, you want to wear this jacket tonight? So the jacket was a green glitter busboy jacket. I put the busboy jacket on, and then we went to the club, and I thought I was clean, and we walking through the club, and I hear everybody go, yeah, man, it's Eddie Murphy, man. Hey, who's that behind the Oh, that's his bro. What that do? I don't know, he looked like he's a magician.
Charlie is widely regarded as one of the greatest storytellers in comedy history. He was so naturally gifted that Dave hired him as a writer for Chappelle's Show, despite Charlie having no previous writing experience. That alone says everything about how talented he truly was.
And hidden within the ranks of that 6.5 billion, believe it or not, is a secret society comprised of all races and nationalities. Yes, they've touched the lives of everybody in this room tonight on many occasions. Some of y'all just today. Now I'm gonna tell you who these people are. And y'all know who these people are. They look just like you and me. They got the same things we got: houses, cars, jobs, money, family, health, looks. You don't know anything's different till you talk to this motherfucker for about 2 minutes. And then you be like this: hey, wait a minute. This motherfucker's a rich.
Unlike Charlie, Dave became equally famous for his stand-up comedy, although some of his material has sparked controversy over the years.
The first time I met O.J. Simpson, I had done a show, and then a guy from the club came up and was like, hey, O.J. Simpson's here, and he said he wants to meet you. I said, what? Yeah. I ran down the steps, standing beside him. Well, I don't know the nice way to say this. His soon-to-be slain wife. I should tell you, that woman was very nice to me. She actually embraced me. She said, I think you're adorable. And she held me for a long time. And I whispered in her ear, are you trying to get us both killed? That was the first time in a nutshell. Third time I met O.J. Simpson, I was doing great in life. I was playing a comedy club in Miami. The door for the green room is right on the stage. If I walked out of the door of the green room, bam, I'm just right here, right from the dressing room. And I did that. And I looked, ma'am, as close as you are to me. I saw him as soon as I came out. I didn't acknowledge his presence because it was a white audience and I didn't want to start a panic. Show went great. I said, good night, everyone. And I didn't say nothing to OJ, but I just gave him the signal, let him know I knew he was there. And I walked into the green room and OJ was already in there. I was like, how the fuck is this possible? I was scared. Then my friends came in and we all started talking. You could believe me or not believe me, but in my experience, O.J. Simpson, one of the nicest men I'd ever met. We talked for 90 minutes and then suddenly the juice said, you know what? I've got to be going. Good night, guys. And we said, good night. And he just walked out of the room. And as soon as the door closed, we all looked at each other like, that did that shit. I could feel like murder in the room.
Now, you probably wouldn't guess it just by looking at him, but according to Dave himself, he's an incredibly jealous person. In fact, he once admitted that he secretly went through his wife's phone. As you can imagine, the story that followed was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, let me tell you something. One time, and that shit opened right up. And I saw a text message in there from a fella named Earl. I don't know anybody named Earl. I woke her up out of her sleep. I said, wake the f up. Who the f is Earl? And she said, oh my God, David. That's gay Earl from the hair salon. She said, read his text and look at his pictures. I started reading the text. This fella sure does spell girl with a U a lot. And I switched over and looked at his pictures, and I couldn't believe it. This fella looked gay and still pictures. And then I knew she was telling the truth. And then I felt like dumb. I said, I'm sorry.
And throughout Dave's career, there may not be a joke more controversial than this next one.
Jim Carrey is talented in a way that you can't practice or rehearse. And Norm knew that. And he called me up and he goes, Dave, he says, I'm doing a movie with Jim Carrey. Do you want to meet him? And I said, yes, I do. And the movie is called Man on the Moon. And in this movie, Jim Carrey was playing another comedian I admired, the late, great Andy Kaufman. And
Charlie Murphy passed away in 2017, but Dave Chappelle has continued carrying the spirit of their friendship through his interviews, stand-up specials, and performances. Even today, it's obvious that Charlie's influence still lives on through Dave's comedy. Their friendship may have been cut short, but their legacy will continue making people laugh for generations to come.
And I mean, you know, Charlie, and he was an OG. Like, Charlie's been around the block. He's, you know, his brother is Eddie Murphy. He's seen the epicenter of, like, the fame that we all wanted to acquire, and he had great stories. And he was also a real nurturing dude. I think he gave me great advice. You know, like, I miss his presence, man. I was real sad to hear.
Chappelle Show was a very difficult show to do, but it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. And one of the reasons that it was great was your brother, Charlie.